names are.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Erica, getting the guests lined up and you guys coming on. So,
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah.
Awesome. I think we're live.
okay, good. Okay, perfect. There you are. Folks, David here with Erica for the ripple effect, and I'm gonna actually kick it over to Erica to take us through, introduce us to her guests, and if you want to do a check-in first, Erica, feel free. Otherwise,
Yeah.
how
Yeah,
are you?
it's great to be back on the Ripple Effect, David. And David hasn't met our guests. Jim and Michelle are coming on with us. And David, do you want to say a little bit about who you are and what you do before we go on to what's the latest thing going on for you? And tell us about yourself.
Oh, I was just saying, I feel like I've been living under a rock for a month here by how rusty I am on the podcast here. But I'm a video producer and I've actually been working on a book, really a system for, achieving your goals. And it's not done yet, but so I do video production is my trade and we do these fun shows with you, Erica. So I'm glad to be back, although I
Yeah.
feel rusty. So I think it'll come back quick.
Yeah.
And you make things so
It will come
easy.
back.
It really revolves around the guests a large part, but also the co-hosts are so important. So I'm
Yeah.
glad to be
You know,
back.
you,
Yeah.
you don't only have the ripple effect, David, you have quantum leap. So David does two different video interviews a week. So you've been just, this has been such a rock in your world and it's a great way for you to talk to a lot of people and help promote them and help get your name out and our name out. So it's all win-win. But thank you for creating this. It's so helped me to be loud and proud about all the things I do. And it has me being very comfortable, even though I don't really love all the things social media, but I can speak if I have to speak, and I speak. So it's a gift to me what you create, and I appreciate you, David.
Oh, thanks. I do think it is a bright spot on social media, this space that we've created and the ripple effect here. So, um, it's
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so without further ado, let's talk to our very special guest, Jim and Michelle Teague, with a Teague of Your Own. And I got to meet these lovely humans in the person, in the flesh, on a cruise. It was so cool. It was the cruise that you co-facilitated with our friend Heather Zeitzwolf and her partner. And so anyway, how are you guys?
We're doing fabulous.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
It's a
Yeah.
beautiful day in the neighborhood. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, this fell. Lots of this fell.
Lots of snow.
Lots of snow.
Lots of shoveling.
Yes. And it's very pretty outside right now. This is the time when the snow looks pretty. It gets that for a few hours, and then you start to decide maybe it's not so pretty.
No.
Yeah, and
It
tell
starts
us
to get
where you're
gray.
coming to us from again. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. We are from just outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
Place of my birth.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I was actually up in the snow. I love the snow and it was dumping down. It was the biggest storm when I was coming home, which, we go up to Tahoe over the holidays and they got a bunch of snow up there. So it was fun. Too bad I didn't get the snow till the drive home, but
Mm.
I saw pictures, my family was up there after and yeah, so great. I saw the pictures of like Buffalo Stadium,
Yeah.
that game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
We didn't get that much.
No. Uh, they did. They
Yeah, they
got
did.
what,
They got
2-3 feet of snow
Right.
up there, and just a day and a half, 2
yeah,
days.
they got the lake effect.
Crazy.
We didn't. We were spared that this time.
Yeah.
So could you tell us all about your coaching program? I would love for everyone to know more about how you serve with the coaching work you do. And I see we're coming a little bit in and out of our internet might be funkier.
Yeah. What we do, in fact, the program that you went through when we did the cruise
Mhm.
was part of Ready Set Goals.
Right.
And what we do with Ready Set Goals is we work with people to start first with the foundation of what their values are, because the reality is everything is grounded in your values. That really anchors what you do. It anchors who you are. It anchors the actions that you take. It anchors the steps that you're moving into your future. So we begin with what your values are. We then look at what's your purpose. Why are you here? Why do you do what you do? And there's a lot of people out there who aren't real clear about what their purpose
Right.
is.
Right. It
So
helps to clarify exactly what they're doing.
yes. And then we talk a lot about where do you see yourself in the future? Where do you see your business? Where do you see yourself, 3 to 5 years from now? Where is it that you're going? What's that vision that you have for yourself and or for your business? And then once you know all that, now we're going to start looking at some goals. And the goals are literally the stepping stones to get you from where you are now to where you want to be, that vision that you created for yourself. And those goals help bring you closer to making that vision a reality. And that's what we did during the Plan Your Profits in Paradise cruise retreat, is we went through that process. Once we figured out what the goals were, then we came up with a strategy. How are you going to do this? What's your action plan for actually doing that? So that way you can create that future that you envision.
And make sure you get it all on paper, because it doesn't count until it's written down.
Well, and in Erica's case, it was on Klingon sheet.
Klingon sheets, yeah.
Yes, so that she could take it with her.
Yeah.
And then put it back up on the wall, and there it is, where she can see.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know exactly where it is and I need to get it up on the wall. So good
Oh,
reminder.
there you go.
I really appreciated the way you two bounced off each other on the cruise,
Mhm.
and how you held such a great space for us to create our future. And I feel like January, now we're in the middle of January, it's like, just I have some clear goals that I'm rolling towards, and I've had a chance to reorg myself as a result of, getting your support. And I love your programs that you offer that are little rocks, and I know you offer bigger rocks.
Yeah.
And I just would love for people to have a little more of your background of how you got to where you are doing a Teague of Your Own, if you don't mind sharing
Sure.
with us.
It started with an idea from many years ago.
Mhm.
I was a corporate trainer.
I was a college professor.
Yeah, and what we would see happen with a lot of the organizations that we worked in, and it didn't matter which corporation I worked in, it didn't matter which place you were teaching at.
Yep.
What we would see is we would see really good people get promoted into leadership roles. And within 6 months, they would fail spectacularly. I mean, it was just amazing how quickly they would fail. And it wasn't because they didn't want to succeed. It wasn't because they didn't have the drive or the will to do well and to be good leaders. It was because they didn't know how. It was because they didn't have the skill set to be a leader. And when I would talk to HR people and say, hey, here's this problem. You keep hiring new people to fill these leadership roles, and they're gone very quickly. Why don't we try something new instead of continuing this cycle? Why don't we try providing them with, some training that would be helpful for them in developing their skills? And it didn't matter which organization it was.
No.
It didn't matter how big or how small. I would hear the same answer. And that was, no, that's going to cost us too much. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah. And the problem was, not only did these people flame out big time because they didn't know how to lead, it would also cause them to lose other people that they were trying to lead, because people don't like having to follow a leader who doesn't know how to lead. As we always say, people don't leave organizations, they leave people.
Yeah.
And that's another issue that you know, also when they say, "Oh, we can't afford that," it's like you can't afford not to,
Yeah.
because you're not putting quality people or the right people, maybe quality people, but not the right people into those leadership roles that they're not prepared for. But now you're also losing the people that answer to them as well.
Yeah, so that's why I decided to start this company, a Teague of Your Own. And we focus on helping people develop those leadership skills.
Mhm.
We focus on helping them with communication skills.
Yes.
Because if you can't communicate your message, your vision, if you can't communicate what it is that needs to be done, nothing's going to happen.
Right.
We do a lot of work on teamwork itself,
Mhm.
getting people to work together on the same page, moving in the same direction. And we talk a lot about influence
Yes.
when it comes
Yeah.
to that.
I really enjoyed your piece that I got to be part of. That was the influence focused
Yeah.
meetings. I need to revisit the book that you were reading. That what was the name of the author again?
Dr. Robert Cialdini.
Yes, Cialdini. Yes, that I always yes.
Yes.
So that book, I feel like that's one of my next books I get to read after this book. That is inspiring me.
Ooh.
Okay.
Have you read this one?
I have
Have
not
not.
read that one yet. That looks good.
Yes, it's kind of cool. Yeah, I think it'll be juicy for y'all to read it. But yeah, so this idea of how we grow up into leadership, I'm definitely at this place myself where it's like, come on, where are my people? Come on. It's herding cats, for
Yes,
me.
it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to lean in more to what you guys are up to and how you serve, because that's like I'm at the pivotal place that it's like I can't do this alone. What I'm doing with my vision for eradicating disease and illness with more plants. And so I have to be a better leader. I have to step up and find a way to not herd cats, but not even herd, but like lead people who want to run with me,
Yes.
Yes.
and have also a vision of healing and health. And so yeah, the other person who is the co-leader with David is Corey Knott. I mentioned him to you, Jim,
Oh,
that
yeah.
you want to
Yeah.
chat with him about what we like about our networking group. But anyway, more about you. So tell us about what you got going on these days specifically.
Oh my
That is
God.
something we can tune into or lean into.
Go ahead.
Well, we're doing a fair amount of training. We've got we're doing train the trainer.
Yeah.
And that's, we're doing a bunch of that,
Mhm.
doing some speaking, training, and coaching,
Mhm.
which goes back to, it stems from a lot of our activities with Toastmasters,
Mhm.
which is an organization dedicated to developing leaders, and because that's where they say Toastmasters, or leaders develop, and also developing your speaking skills. We're also still doing our charitable
Mhm.
type work. As a matter of fact, we have a meeting later today with the head of an organization about doing some training, leadership coaching and training for youth groups.
Mhm.
And that is
Cool.
something that we're passionate
Yeah.
about, and we try to do as much of that as we can.
Yeah, this past summer we got together with a nonprofit here in our area, and they had two groups of young ladies. They ranged in age from
13
I'll say
to
13 to
18. I'm
18.
thinking about it as 19.
And we helped them develop it was an 8-week program that we worked with them to develop their speaking skills, their public speaking skills, and their leadership skills. And it went really well.
Yeah.
The girls, by the end of it, they could give a speech, they could stand up, they weren't scared to get in front of a group of people and speak. They could speak off the cuff. They could, which prepares you really well for interviews. And with that group, that was one of the
Yep.
skills we wanted them to learn.
Yep.
Was interview skills. But also they got to learn how to run a meeting. They got to learn how to put together an agenda. They got to learn different roles that you play within an organization and they're in the meeting. And so a lot of good life skills
Right.
were coming out of
Right.
that.
And a point she's leaving out is these were at-risk youth.
Yeah.
And so we were working with a very specific group. These were young
Yeah.
people who they had their issues with the law.
Yeah.
And this is why they were in the location they were living.
Mhm.
And it's working with groups like that, with the mentality of, if we can get them now, maybe we can keep them from ending up in the prison system later.
Yeah, so this was a project that the local Rotary and the local Toastmasters Club came together and sponsored this, and it just worked out beautifully for them.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I have a sweet spot in my heart for, what you're talking about, because I used to work at a boarding school for high-risk teens
Okay.
in Vermont, in Burlington, Vermont. So I'm like, oh, that's great. And, yeah, great. We got to connect about that, because I have cool projects for schools related to growing
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
vertically and grants and all that. But how wonderful that you're raising up the next leaders,
Yes.
the next round of leaders. We need people to be in leadership as opposed to just herding or
Well,
just
and to the title of this, with the ripple effect, that's really what it is.
Yeah. Sure is.
Is you have to start early with them, because that does indeed have this ripple effect, not just on them, but on the people that they're around. And you want to see that grow. You want to see the good grow out of them, and that's what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
no, this is all music to my ears. I don't know if Erica told you about my background. This is one of the things that I've been studying, and I'm actually putting out a book, not on leadership, but it's some of the things you mentioned at the beginning, really a system for how to achieve your goals. So a big part is that goal setting.
Yep.
And I do want to write a primer on leadership. That's kind of on my agenda. So we good people on leadership are so few and far between. So we're so excited that Erica found you and brought you on and gave a testimonial. And I actually have learned a lot about leadership through my Rotary Club as well, and
Yeah.
some of the things that you're talking about, the at-risk youth. It's so to have kind of a living, breathing lesson on leadership. So I'll just ask if what are some of the common gaps that you see in kind of people who could be leaders, maybe the at-risk youth, or um, to where, and how do you kind of fulfill those gaps? And for example, one thing is a lot of people don't even think that you can study leadership. They think maybe you're just a born leader, and they all think I'm not a leader, or I couldn't be a leader. So just opening up that possibility is huge, I think, to begin with, and looking at some of the programs here in Oakland. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we can say something right out of the gate, and those people are right. Every leader is born. We have yet to meet one that wasn't born.
Yeah, that's true.
So they've all been born. Are they necessarily leaders just by genetics? No. Leadership is something that you can learn. Now, are there some people who they have a little more natural tendency towards it because they have more confidence in themselves and they're able to take charge? Sure. But does that mean that other people can't learn to be leaders? No, leadership is a learned skill.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what was so valuable for the at-risk youth, is they've never, as far as we could tell, ever been introduced to these ideas or concepts. So just getting seeing people in front of them who, live this and breathe this and, teach people. It's not something that they have ever seen. And, and part of it was also just the fact that by us being there, it showed that we cared for them.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that Michelle would say. We'd hear their stories, because one of the things they had to do with their speeches had to do an icebreaker, tell us who they were. And they all had somewhat similar stories, and they were all heartbreaking.
Yes.
And with every one of them, all you wanted to do when they would finish those stories, if you could keep yourself from crying, was go and give them a hug.
Yeah.
These were girls who just, they've never had that guidance. They've never seen people lead, or if they were leading them down a bad road. And that's part of it, is just being exposed to those concepts. And then getting to the point where you have enough confidence to take the reins of something and go.
Yeah, when it comes to leadership, David, one of the things that you asked about is what are some of the things that are missing? What are some of the gaps? And self-confidence
Self-confidence is a big one.
is one of them. It's and something else that goes with the self-confidence, and part of the youth leadership program that we had was public speaking.
Mhm.
And being confident enough to stand up in front of a group of people and make eye contact with them and to speak. That takes a lot of bravery for some people. It takes a lot of gumption. It can be difficult for people to do that. And so part of this was getting them to overcome that fear of public speaking and to recognize that, hey, if I can overcome this fear, maybe there's some other things in my life that I can overcome too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting. And
Isn't there
another,
some statistic like that besides just dying, that the next fear is speaking
Oh
public?
yeah,
Oh no, speaking is a bigger fear
than dying.
than
Oh, the
dying.
dying. Yeah, yeah. It
Yes,
was.
yes. It's
I
the,
was
it's
just.
the biggest fear that people have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just at this camp this past weekend for Joyful Family Camp with our friend Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, yes.
I was assisting again the second time I got to assist, and we happened to be concurrently at this camp at the same time that there was this Writers Labtopia or Writertopia Lab, this nonprofit that supports kids to write, teens to write, and so they had a slam that we got to attend, and I could see how angsty some of the younger tweens were about getting up to share what they had written. And I'm so relieved that this, especially this younger crowd, they got up finally after much hemming and hawing. And it was like I could feel it in my body, the pain that they were in. And it was like, okay, go for it. Because, here's to a lifetime of sharing your word, your written word. It was so cool. So yeah, I could see the fear. And I remember I used to be like one of those people that would silence myself. And then, now you can't really shut me up. So, but I've gotten that, I've worked through that concern that I can't say it right, or, you know. So anything worth doing is worth doing badly, but do it, like just in terms of
That's
speaking.
right.
And it
That's right.
doesn't have to be perfect. And yeah.
And
So
eventually
what
you'll
else?
get better.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love Toastmasters. So what else do you have for us? How can people get a hold of you if they're listening to our video and they want to hear more of you or learn more of you? I know that you have your amazing YouTube channel.
We do. Yeah, we're here on, because this is being broadcast on Facebook. We're actually on Facebook. So you can find us there at A Teague of Your Own. You can go to our website.
Mhm.
A teagueofyourown.com is our website, and you'll find all kinds of cool stuff there.
Yes, you will.
Right now we've got a freebie on a goal sheet. Working on SMART goals, especially since it's the beginning of the year.
Yep.
We want people to figure out, what is it they want to accomplish, how can they accomplish it. So
And set goals, not resolutions.
yep. So we've got that on there. You'll also find on the website several different events coming up because we're going to start the study of the 15 invaluable laws of growth.
Yes.
And we're
Going to
doing,
be what, 5-month study?
yes, we're doing laws 1, 2, and 3 this month. That will be Friday,
26th.
January 26th. It'll be at 12:15 p.m. Eastern time, which is 9:15 a.m. Pacific time.
Okay.
So go to the website and you can click on there and register. But like I said, if you just head over while you're here on Facebook to A Teague of Your Own, you can like our page and you'll get all kinds of cool stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely check out the YouTube channel if you haven't. And just as we wrap up, who are you really looking for reals?
For reals. For reals, we love working with HR professionals and business owners because we want to help you with the retention issues that you have. We want to help you with the conflict that's going on in your organization. We want to help you with the low productivity. We've got training and coaching programs that can help make things better for you and your organization, where your shortcut to success when it comes to those types of issues.
Yes, because we want to help you to be as successful as you can be, because we know that when companies are successful, the people in companies are successful. That's not only good for the people in the companies, it's good for the community. It's good for your state. It's good for the country.
Yeah. And it's good for the people that you're serving.
Yes.
Amen. You know what I learned about y'all on the cruise was how you're getting some nice traction and testimonials and a track record of success. And that was very compelling to go, ooh, tell me more, So for people tuning in who hear what you're really looking for, I hope that you feel compelled to reach out and learn more and get connected with this amazing couple. And David, anything else you want to add?
I will put the link to their website in the comments, and feel free to add any other comments or additional resources in the comments to this video. We'll share it on all platforms, and we'd love to keep in touch. You're actually the first people I've come across teaching leadership to youth. I know we have some similar programs in Oakland, but in terms of what you guys do, it's pretty unique. So we're excited to hear about it, and we love to keep in touch, see what you guys are doing with that.
Absolutely.
To
Yes.
hopefully,
Great.
be part of our network. And
Sounds good, David.
Yeah,
Thank you.
wonderful.
Yeah, amazing. Awesome. Thank you for coming and playing with us.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting us.
Yeah,
We had a
thanks for
great
having
time.
us.
We need a reason to keep saying you.
Yes, we did.
Okay, well, I'm going to check out your website, and thank you for joining us. And David, I'll see you Wednesday. You guys are invited to come to our BNI chapter January 31st. I'm giving my 10-minute presentation, so put it in your calendario if you want to come over. It'll be 10:30 to noon your time on Wednesday, January 31st. And you'll meet about 25 to 30 professionals, and I'll talk you up. Why not?
Cool.
Okay, great.
Sounds good.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, come on over. And David, we'll talk more very soon.
okay, sounds good. And thanks for getting our great guest today. And we'll talk soon. Bye, everyone.
Okay,
Thanks
take
for joining
care.
us on
Bye,
the Ripple
everybody.
Effect.
Thank you.